Human Resource Management. Dr. Mishra is the Director on the Aditya Birla Management Corporation Private Limited Board. Among a number of esteemed awards and titles, what stands out given today is that he was awarded the Eisenhower Fellowship in the year 2000. He has also been identified amongst the 20 hottest young executives by Business Today. He also leads the global carbon black business of the group. His knowledge resources is unparalleled, and it is no coincidence to have him amongst us today on a day when we recognize the Eisenhower Fellowships, an award that celebrates human achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. Santrap Mishra.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have a very short speech and a very long speech. My short speech is thank you, and my long speech is thank you very much. I'm primarily here today as an Eisenhower Fellow. Manju said I won't get dinner unless I come up and speak a few words, so I have to honor that. As I listened to Ms. Sandhya's introduction of me, I was reminded of a wonderful story I read many years ago, and the story went like this: that a self-made man from California was introduced to a very enlightened audience like you as a man who has made billions of dollars in gold business. So when he was introduced, he came up and thanked his introducer and said, look, the introduction was broadly correct, excepting some minor aberrations here and there, which I would like to set right. To be honest, the state involved was not California, it was Florida. To be really honest, the item on which the so-called money was made was not gold, it was coal. To be very honest, the amount involved was not $1 billion, it was just $1 million. To be honest, the person involved was not me, it was my brother. And actually, he did not make that much of money, he lost that much of money in that business. So as I was listening to Ms. Sandhya, I was wondering if I may have to make some corrections to that, but very fortunately for her and unfortunately for me, she didn't leave any chance. I must say that it's been a proud experience to be an Eisenhower Fellow in course of busy life of running businesses, running companies. It is, as Manju described, has been an outstanding experience. But my purpose of being here is basically to tell you that I lead the Eisenhower Fellows Network chapter in India and also coordinate the nominating committee, which is headed by my chairman, Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla, and many eminent people are part of that nominating committee. And I would just like to urge you and take this opportunity to tell you that the purpose of Eisenhower Fellowship, which I'm sure John Wolfe would be talking about more, is to expose leaders from India and different parts of the world to build network with leaders in other parts of the world. So we are all the time looking for outstanding men and women in the age bracket of 35 to 45 who have already made a distinction in their own life, in their own area of work, and still have potential and long way to go in making a difference to India. We are all the time looking for young men and women of that outstanding caliber of leadership to be fellows in Eisenhower Fellowship. Of course, the process is highly competitive. Many leaders are nominated. The nominating committee has a tough challenge. When we nominate several names at Eisenhower Fellowship, they internationally put together, they have a still tougher challenge to separate and weed out some from the others, and we have an ongoing dialogue. But I must say that Eisenhower Fellowship has been tremendously supportive of India and Indian nominees, and we have had the privilege of having had almost at least 2 nominees in almost every program in last few years. So I would request, ladies and gentlemen, I will circulate as many visiting cards of mine as I can this evening, because that's the only thing I can afford to distribute free, and I'll collect more from you, and I hope you will take this opportunity to nominate outstanding young men and women for Eisenhower Fellowships in the evening. And let me close this also telling you a little story, because I saw some wine being circulated somewhere, Manju. I saw a glass of wine somewhere. A master was teaching in a classroom to his students, and he brought an empty glass and put some pebbles in it. And the glass looked full, and he looked at it and said, do you think the glass has any more space? Most students say there is no space. Then he put some sand into it, and he shook the glass, and the sand settled within the pebble. He said, is there any more space? So the student said, no, sir, I think the glass is full. Then he put some water into it, and the water kind of settled inside the glass, and he put some wine into it. That also settled in the glass. So he asked the students, what analogy can you draw? And the student said that, look, we don't know. So the master said, look, the pebbles are the basics of life, our education, career, family. This is the most important thing that we are bothered about. And somebody asked, what is the sand about? The master said, sand is the next most important things like having the size of your car, the size of your office, your bank balance, things that are important to some people but not for everything. And somebody said, what's the water? I said, water is again the third priority in life. Let's say, where do we go on a holiday next, or things of that kind. Then one lady from the back said, but master, what about the wine? So the master said, well, no matter how crowded your life is, how many priorities you have, there's still always opportunity for a glass of wine. So enjoy the evening, have the glass of wine. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we next have somebody who personifies leadership